Welcome everybody. If you are new to the channel, I am Noah, aka Mr. Sniff. Mrs. Sniff is not joining us today for this Amouage presentation. I did want to take the opportunity to go over one of the new Dubai exclusive releases. So they just came out with 3 new perfumes that are, I think they're technically a part of the Essences line, which I have the original 3 here. They are only available in the Dubai airport. And I did have a friend that went through Dubai to, what was it? Beauty World, the Beauty World event recently, which was apparently stunning. We were supposed to go. We didn't go this year, but we're definitely going next year. And on her way through, knowing I'm an Amouage fan, she grabbed a couple of these, asked me if I wanted one. I said, yes, I will take it. Knowing I wanted to have an experience of what they are doing in a Dubai exclusive line, even though it's the Essences collection, how it compares to the other Essences, how it compares to some classical Amouage. Yes, of course, we're setting ourselves up for failure by doing that. Nonetheless, I wanted to at least get my nose on it and see. Basically, the question is, for the Middle Eastern market, is there more of a challenge factor? Is there more of a throwback factor? Are they pushing the envelope in some way still in some part of the world that I don't feel they really did with the original Essences? I will spoil the ending for you. The answer is no, they are not. The reason I'm doing this review right now at 2:51 p.m. on a random Thursday is because I have already resold this and need to go put it in the mail. But I wanted to give it a fair assessment. Now, Jamie and I did a first impression of this just last night in a TikTok video. So if you follow us on there, you can go watch that first impression video. I'm going to give you basically the gist of that information and then an addendum that comes from having worn it a little bit longer and having more than just a first impression. I am going to take another spray here, 2 sprays actually, that were a part of the calculation. It's bad form to sell a bottle and say it's missing this many sprays and then go spray it again. Doesn't matter that some of you do it all the time. It's bad form. Don't do it. That was pre-calculated. That's 6 sprays missing. 2 for me, 2 for Jamie yesterday, and 2 for me now. Let's talk about the notes here. This is a Julie Rascanet, which I believe I mentioned. Let me show you. It is in the hotel shampoo bottle like presentation of the other essences. And the notes are lychee, raspberry, saffron, and the heart is rose, osmanthus, and tonka. The base is oud, leather, and ambery woods. So what do I get? The oud and leather, it's a synthetic oud accord, of course. It's a different synthetic oud accord than in, I think actually this is Royal Tobacco, but let's just pretend that it's silver oud for a moment. It looks the same. It's a different synthetic oud. It's much milder. It's much friendlier than the ouds that were in both silver oud and King Blue. Okay, so know that right away. If you did not like silver oud or King Blue because of the oud presence, don't worry. That's not a reason to not try this, okay? So it's a milder oud. I get the oud. I get the leather, which is, it's a softer, suede-like leather, excuse me, that I mentioned yesterday. Reminds me a bit of Tom Ford ombre leather. You can think of this if you want to just kind of grab a snapshot. What does this do for you? How do I categorize it? I described it last night with our first impression as a Middle Eastern style ombre leather. Okay, I stand by that. It's kind of halfway between ombre leather and Tuscan leather. It's not nearly as kind of rough and tumble as Tuscan leather. There's a little bit of smokiness in the oud, which is one of my favorite parts of this fragrance. Now, the oud is listed in the base. However, that smoky oud accord is not what I get when it dries down. And that's the biggest problem that I have with this fragrance. What do I get when it dries down? The ambery woods. Okay, so if that term doesn't mean anything to you, if it does raise alarm bells, Good for you. Congratulations. You still have the capacity to enjoy a great deal of modern niche fragrance that others of us no longer can enjoy because of the presence of these aroma chemicals called amber woods. All right, an amber wood or super ambers, you will sometimes hear them called. Amber cream is one of them, or limbinol, ambrosinide. There are several other amber F or amber wood F. I'm forgetting at the moment. There's there's a lot of them, but there are 3 to 5 that are very, very commonly used in modern perfumery because of this modern market demand for beast mode. Does it perform? Is it beast mode? Because not only do these molecules have a smell and performance in and of themselves, they actually do help the rest of the fragrance perform. So they're sort of like a launch pad that that's not the best analogy. They're more like a bulldozer that sort of shoves the rest of the fragrance up off the skin and into the air. And in the opening here, and last night during our first impression, the first, I would say even 30 to an hour, they seem to be used tastefully. It's not an amberwood bomb out of the gate. However, after 2 to 3 hours, the amberwood becomes more and more present, more and more noticeable. It becomes the main theme, the star of the show, because of course it's the nature of fragrances. The top notes, the lychee, the raspberry, the saffron, those have all disappeared. The heart notes are beginning to diminish. They are wonderful up front. I'll tell you that Jamie likes this, and she even actually liked the dry down, and she does not like amberwoods. Okay, so I'm trying to be very fair here. She enjoyed it. She was smelling the dry down. We sprayed this on last night for the first impressions video. We were sitting in the hot tub this morning and she was still smelling it on her hands. So, I mean, she got like 12 hours and it was still going. I've washed my hands a couple times before respraying. I could still smell the residue of it. I don't like that. Okay. Some people do. I don't like that even a pleasant smelling fragrance. 12 hours is too much, or certainly enough. I don't want to smell it past 12 hours. I really don't want to smell it past 8, if I'm being honest. And frankly, most fragrances, if I get 4 good solid wearing hours, I'm content. So this is not marketed to me. This is marketed towards the crowd that is really, again, demanding and desiring these strong beast mode fragrances. I see it as somebody who sells fragrance. Sniffer's line is starting to kind of catch on a bit, and I'm seeing posts on Facebook and people are raving about certain fragrances, most of the people are really enjoying the work, and it's still very, very new, so most people have no idea what the heck it is, right? And you see in the comment threads, people don't say, well, what's it smell like? What would you compare it to? They say, what's the performance on this one? It's like, don't you want to know what it smells like first before you decide to bathe in it and have it last for 24 hours? So anyway, that's a bit of what's going on with this fragrance. If this opening 30 minutes lasted even 2 to 3 hours, I would say this is nice. That's what I would say about it. It's not amazing. It's not fantastic. It's not new. It's not different. It's nice, right? But I can't even say that because I started getting into the less pleasant, more annoying part of the dry down within an hour, right? And even here, it's 15, not even 15 minutes into the spray. It's still nice and pleasant, but it's boring. I got to be honest. It's just boring. There is nothing particularly interesting or exciting about this to me. Okay. Now, let me back that up. Let me caveat full understanding that Amouage is not marketing to me anymore, right? Or people like me, or if you're watching this video, possibly people like you. That's not what they're doing anymore. Okay. They have gone completely mainstream and they're competing for that segment of the market. And that segment of the market, A lot of young men, teenagers, 20-year-olds, even into early 30s. Um, Certainly a lot of women as well, but the teenage boys are the fastest growing demographic. Um, if those folks, and if that's one of you, wonderful. If you're coming from YSLY, Armani Stronger with You, JPG Lamal line, um, other basic designer stuff, much of which I love. This whole section over here, oh, that's Jamie's. No, this is mine. Well, it's Jamie's up there. This whole section here is classic designers: Guerlain, Tom Ford, Prada, that kind of stuff. I love a well done designer fragrance. I'm not knocking designers. If you are coming from a designer palette, right, you're going to smell this and go, wow, wow. There's a lot going on. It's fruity. You can pick up on the rose. The rose and saffron are there. They're nice. It's perfectly balanced. I mean, of course, it's a Julian Rasquinet fragrance. It's not like the guy doesn't know what he's doing. The problem isn't the perfumers. The problem, my problem, I should say, my problem isn't the perfumers or the perfumery, the technicality of it, the skill of it. It's the briefs. It's the creative direction of the house. Okay. And this is targeting young people and increasingly people who are newer to the niche segment. And, it's working because they have record profits. So I can complain all I want. It's not going to do any good. I do wish that Amouage would use a subsection of the house, like a privé line. I mean, they even have one. I've got a couple here. Those are the old style library collection bottles. And then this is one of the new style library collection bottles. It's just the flat. One of them is a dark gray. The others are light grays. It would be so nice if they used that segment within the house to continue to put out artful, challenging work. I'm sure there's somebody there still tapped into it and capable of it. Listen, I get why. I get why they're not making Amouage Goldman anymore. I get it. This is a vintage bottle of Goldman. I have not worn a ton of it. I've worn some of it. I have a big collection. It's hard to get to. This is very, very old school. I mean, this is, even I can admit that. There's times when I think, oh, I really love gold, and I go, boy, that's a lot right now. I don't know if I want to do that. It is as old school classic, a kind of funky animalic aldehydic floral chypre as you can get. I mean, it's on the list of definitive masculine chypres. Beautiful artistic work. 99.9% of the population does not want to smell like this today. Okay, I get it. They're not going to make any money making this. Having said that, sorry, this is backwards. They have gotten away from some things like Bracken Man. These are now going for $400 to $500 a bottle. I have this and a backup that I got before things started going crazy with the pricing. This is not Goldman. Okay, this is classic masculine. This is a beautiful, modern, wearable fougere. Gorgeous spice profile. Cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. It's aromatic. It's clean. It's fresh, musky. It's stunning, and people are paying $400 a bottle for this on the secondary market. Okay, that's the retail price of the new stuff. So people want this. I don't know why they're not making it. I don't remember when they discontinued it, relative to, IFRA changes and things like that. If changes mean that they can't make it the way that they want to anymore. Having said that, that hasn't kept them from reformulating other works. So I don't know why they're not still doing that. Same thing with Lyric Man. You know, this is another classic covered in fingerprints. This is a beautiful, fresh, clean, rosy fougere. Not um, not the most mass appealing style for 2025. I can admit that it's very soapy, very rosy. I should do like a street test. I wonder if I just have a bunch of people blind smell this and say, "Do you find this to be a masculine or feminine fragrance?" I'm curious what they would say. Anything heavily floral, I think, tends to be interpreted as more feminine these days. But to me, this is classic, fresh, gorgeous masculine, and always on the top of my lists, or up there on the top of my lists for best masculine rose fragrances. Absolutely love it. Another one I don't understand. This is a modern, this is a very modern formulation. You can tell just by the feel. This is Beloved Man. This is one of the, if not the most slept on fragrance in the house to me. This is a beautiful, smooth, creamy, woody, elemi based, citrusy fragrance. It's stunning. It is classy. It is office safe. It is versatile. This is a signature scent for sure. I always need to get a quick sniff. I mean, you know, this is like a smoothed out and sort of dressed up version of something um, like Terre de Hermes. They don't smell this. This isn't a vetiver bomb, but in that kind of sort of modern, sophisticated style. You know, Terre de Hermes feels modern, even though it's getting up there in age. It still feels modern. It still feels relevant. It's wearable. It's compliment getting. This is like a smoother. This is even easier to wear than Terre de Hermes, in my opinion. And those are still successful. I don't know why they're not making that anymore. I don't know why. And it's not like, you know, they're that far away from making good fragrances. It's not like it's that deep into the past. Royal Tobacco, Silver Oud, and King Blue are all within the last 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Now, this this is what Cecile Zarokian can do. Okay, um, these and the famed Outlands. Okay, we'll pull that out because that's the one that everybody raves about. She also did Outlands, which wasn't my favorite of the three. None of them did I love. I actually think I liked Luster the best. Outlands, people are raving about it. It is a good fragrance. It is more mass appealing than this. This one's got more challenge. It's got more Middle Eastern vibe that, again, you would hopefully kind of expect if they're doing a Dubai exclusive, right? I get it. I mean, I get it. Again, this is not Amouage marketing to me anymore. Also, not the most original thing in the world. Just like this, these profiles have been done. I mean, it's oud, it's saffron, it's rose. I mean, come on, like really? In 2025, you know, that's been done. Which doesn't mean you can't use those materials, but this is not really a new expression of those things. I mean, certainly people are still using a lot of bergamot and musk. That doesn't mean they can't do that anymore. But they used to be about artistry, originality, things that had never been done before, things that remind you of nothing else. If you're wondering why I'm holding this up and you don't know Amouage, this is the famed Myths Man that is also going for, God, I've seen people putting this up for over $500 now. Stunning. Also, like Goldman, I get it. You're not going to make billions of dollars selling Myths Man. You're just not. But my God, what a stunning fragrance dominated by chrysanthemum and this kind of uh, like earthy, ashy profile that's just incredible artistry. You know, so I get it. They're not going to make a ton of money doing these. They are going to make and are making a ton of money with Outlands. I enjoy smelling it. I do. And as I said previously in another video, If this existed in a vacuum, Jamie asked me, well, do you like it enough to wear it? I'm like, well, it depends. The answer is it depends. Yes, in a vacuum, absolutely. Outlands is beautiful. Cecile Zarokian does incredible work. Am I going to go to this over any of the other Amouages in my collection or any of these other things? Probably not. I mean, I've had zero temptation to run out and pick up a bottle of Outlands. None. I do enjoy smelling it. It also feels safe. It feels familiar. Um, it feels it feels like a Middle Eastern, stronger with you kind of thing. I know they're not exactly the same profile. I'm not really comparing the scent, more okay, in the intention, the style, that sort of thing. It is just a slightly spicier, more more Middle Eastern feeling type of that style of fragrance, appealing to that market in a more unisex fashion, I would say. So beautiful, beautiful perfumery, very nicely done, and ultimately, I think forgettable. I don't think that unlike Bracken Man, which gets discontinued, people then smell it after the fact and go, "My God!" Suddenly, everybody's looking for one, and the price goes through the roof. That's not going to happen with Outlands. Okay, you're not going to see that. People are going to forget about this fragrance in a year and just be on to the next thing. You're not going to see a hot resale market for this. It's just a pleasant, nice fragrance, and there are thousands of pleasant, nice fragrances out there. That's not what Amouage used to be. And yes, we're old and cranky, and we lament that. Another uh, creator was sort of lamenting all of the whining around Amouage, which I do get, and I am guilty of, and he makes very valid points. But also, it's true, and it's okay. It's okay to lament the loss of something beautiful, right? And I can't smell these or this without comparing them to this. I just can't. But I can I can segment my mind. I can pretend. I can pretend that I could do that and say, okay, again, in a vacuum, these don't exist. What do you think about these? Eh, that's how I feel. They just don't spark anything inside me. They're pleasant, and then that's it. They're ultimately forgettable. There is a place for that in the industry. Again, obviously, they're selling a ton. If you're a person who loves to just have an easy reach and you only have 5, 6 fragrances and you maybe have 1 or 2 for the winter, fantastic choice. You don't want to think about it. You want kind of your signature. That's it. You can wear this anywhere. Date night, office. I'm not sure I'd wear it to the gym, but you get the idea. It's a versatile signature, warm, spicy, ambery fragrance. It's beautiful. Um, Actually, I'm talking about this, and I'm smelling Outlands. Outlands. I'm smelling Outlands, which is beautiful. This one is not so versatile. Sorry, I was talking about Outlands. This one is more challenging than Outlands for sure. I'm getting kind of like a grassy, woody aspect to the leather now. It used to be a soft suede. Now it's getting a little bit rougher. That's because more of those kind of spiky, scratchy amberwood materials are starting to kind of pop through a little bit as it fades. And where's my clock? I can't quite tell how far into this I am. Usually I can see, there we go, 25 minutes, okay? It's already going downhill. After about an hour, it's going to be very, very flat and dominated by amberwood. So there you go. I did also pull aside the small sample of timber that I have. That's another new one that has been on people's radar. I think timber is probably the best of the new stuff that I have smelled, kind of there with Decision. I only briefly smelled Decision. I'm going to give it a full wearing this weekend. Jamie and I are going back up to the House of Dubai in Chicago to do a launch party for their new store and for the Polysniferous brand. That's the first place that I smelled Decision. At some point, I'm going to step aside and give it a few good sprays, see what I think of it. I was pleasantly surprised by Decision. I like it probably more than any of these. Timber is probably like just a notch below that. Again, in a vacuum, if I didn't have a lot of other kind of woody, cedary, kind of mass appealing type fragrances, I'd think about this. But you know, for the price point, that we have to talk about that as well. $388. Okay, Timber reminds me a bit of Cape Heartache by Imaginary Authors, and you can get a 50 ml of that on the secondary market for $80, something like that. So 100 ml is 160 compared to 380, and it's a very nice kind of semi-sweet, creamy, cedary fragrance that I do actually like more than Timber. Again, this is Jamie hates it. I don't know. She finds it to be screech synthetic. I like it. I think it's a nice. It's a kind of fresh, clean, you know, fresh sock or a cedar log type of smell that I really do enjoy, but really kind of smoothed out and turned perfumey, right? If that makes sense to you when I say it that way. It doesn't smell like photorealistic cedar. It smells like photorealistic cedar in some idyllic sort of perfumey fantasy land. And I like it. I'm not tempted to buy a bottle of it. So that's the theme for all of these. The big question for me at the beginning, and the reason for getting this and purchasing, was this going to break the mold? The mold of this new direction, with Outlands and the other original essences. I have not smelled Sinbad or not Reflection. I forget what the other one. There's now 5 of the original ones plus these new 3 Dubai ones. The answer is no. They're not going in a more challenging direction. They're not harkening back to the old days of artistry. Again, I would point out things like Myths Man, and the other one that I think is just the height of artistry is Imitation Man as well. Those days are gone. So sad for those of us who love it, but something else will step up and take its place. It's hard though, right? I have a ton of indie perfume that steps into the place of creativity, artistry, challenge factor, mystery, uniqueness that are filling that void. But even then, Amouage was doing something special for 20 years that no one had really done before, and there's something there that can't be replaced. You can't find something else like this, right? That combines the uniqueness factor with the sort of professionalism. I love indie work, but it can often be, you know, unpolished, a little bit unpolished. I find that to be part of the charm. But the combination of uniqueness, challenge, and polish, professionalism done by some of the best perfumers, technical perfumers on the planet, can't really replace that. So it's okay for us cranky old timers to grieve it. It is okay for those of you who love mass appealing, you know, not particularly challenging expressions of Middle Eastern perfumery to love these. God love you. Enjoy what you enjoy. And, you know, it's okay for me to say, no, it's not for me. And it seems like the House of Amouage is just not for me anymore. I've got 35 bottles and a few backups to keep me going, probably for as long as I could ever need. So I will be okay. So there you go. That's a lot of yapping about Amouage in general, and hopefully some valuable information if you are considering a bottle of Sequence. Again, this sold very quickly. Amouage knows what they're doing. Their goal is to make money. They know how to do it, and they're doing it. So thanks for listening, everybody. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.